What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. Today we're here with some more GARP challenge content. This time around we are building an INT team that takes on all 4 10-star difficulty GARP challenges, which in today's video, as you can see, we're using Halloween Law as our captain, but don't get it twisted, this is not a double Law team. This will be utilizing a Halloween Mihawk friend captain, or as I like to call it, the Halloween hybrid. Those two characters together are such a great combination, and we'll talk more about that as the video goes on. But as for the other characters on the team, we have Corazon support attached to Law, which means that anytime we're inflicted with Bind, we can just remove it, because remember, with double Halloween hybrid captains, we can already remove 10 turns of Despair and Paralysis. As for the other units here, though, for our crewmates, we have Sangora, who has the support of Pudding, which can remove the stun debuff on the final stage of the Enel GARP challenge. Plus, Sangora has a great special, giving us cooldown reduction, healing, or manipulation, and also color affinity, so it's a really solid unit. We also have Barkrite, who's one of the best INT units you can bring to these GARP challenges, as well as the support of Tesora to give us a free chain lock, which is great. We have Recruit Iron for great utility as well, and also giving us damage reduction as well, and also whenever we launch a special, we'll get the support of the old school Recruit Robin, which will give us a very minor attack boost as well, which can be kind of nice depending on the situation. And then we also have Rayleigh for additional utility, plus Talnami support, which means that on the final stage of the Enel challenge, we'll just get a free little bit of color affinity, and it's kind of redundant on every other piece of the GARP challenges. And before we move into the video, of course, we have the Megalo ship, which enables us to lock our orbs with a special, and that's quite good because we can use that to our advantage, as you guys will see in this video today. But that's the rundown of the team. It's a very cool team, and I really hope you guys go on to enjoy the video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. Jumping into the video today, let's go ahead and talk about the Heavenly Demon with this team here, the INT team. Now, with this team, the really good thing about using Mihawk and also Law as the captain is their inbuilt captain effects, which resist a lot of those really nasty debuffs that you'll encounter against Doflamingo here. So obviously, Despair you do not have to worry about because of Law's captain effect, and whenever you get paralyzed, you've got Mihawk's captain effect to deal with that as well. So that's why I really love this Halloween hybrid, especially for these GARP challenges. It makes it just significantly easier, as you don't have to bring characters dedicated for utility because you've got captain effects that already do it, as well as giving you amazing abilities on top of that. But the other characters on this team really don't matter at all for this particular fight, because the captain effects are just removing the debuffs that we're going to encounter, and everything else is just kind of extra and kind of needed just for the other variations of the GARP challenge. You may have saw a little bit earlier that obviously the Law was going to have the Corazon proc when we got Despaired, but of course the Corazon isn't there for paralysis or despair removal. It is only there for the bind removal, which is going to be present during the Revolutionary Army and also against the Enel challenge. So that's the main reason why it's there. Some people may be confused by that, but obviously it's there for a good reason. And everything else in this fight against the Heavenly Demon GARP challenge is very straightforward with the Halloween team. And honestly, the Halloween team might be one of the, well, definitely probably the most fun one to use, because I mean, Kaido is a little bit hit or miss because it's very boring. You just let Kaido do all the heavy lifting. At least with this team, you still have to kind of attack and you still have to think about a couple of things, and it's definitely a lot of fun utilizing these Halloween legends, that is for sure. But I'll leave you guys with the rest of this clip versus the Heavenly Demon GARP challenge, and we'll pick things up once we get to the Revolutionary Army. So now we get the time to talk about the Revolutionary Army, and this is where the support of Corazon attached to Law is going to be very good, because we can go ahead and use that to remove the bind that we get inflicted on our team on the third stage against Robin, which is very good. And a good thing about that as well is technically speaking, you obviously get Despaired against those mob characters against Robin, but you know, you don't really have to worry about Despair too much when you got Law as your captain. And of course, utilizing the Iron special to get rid of the increased defense of Kuma is quite essential, because that Kuma's defense is really high. Like, I've tried it in multiple different teams, trying to just break through the defense with normal attacks, and it's virtually impossible unless if you activate like all of your damage boosting specials pretty much, and even then you're going to struggle. So yeah, it's just kind of just worth just removing the defense altogether, honestly speaking. So yeah, because we have full type advantage against those mob characters, not really a big problem there, and we can take our time taking down Robin, which of course is very good. And then the only other special in terms of utility that we're going to be requiring in this fight is going to be the Iron special once again, or even the Rayleigh special once again once we get towards the second last fight here, because we do need to remove bind once again. So we've got Rayleigh for great utility, but honestly speaking, Rayleigh could kind of be replaced by nearly anything. Like, Rayleigh is kind of not really needed on this team because all the other characters basically remove everything that we could possibly want. So yeah, Rayleigh doesn't really have much of a use, but I just had him here because, you know, just in case if I needed the backup utility, because we only are really relying on the abilities of Law and Mihawk to give us all the damage that we could possibly require. And of course, with Law's Captain effect, we have that to repel all the damage back that we do get taken, which is great, so it helps us clear mini-boss stages. And we have his super type special to heal back some HP whenever we get in a little bit of a bind, of course. And that's, again, pretty much it. And of course, having, you know, Barkarad, I suppose. Barkarad is something to talk about with Guild Tesora support, so, you know, whenever we need that chain lock, we can do that, of course. Just depending on the situation, you want to make sure you have Laws or Boost active before Barkarad, but it does depend on the situation. Sometimes you just want to use Barkarad for the hell of using Barkarad, but again, it does depend on the situation that you have. But as you see, the repelling of the damage back to the enemy is super amazing. Being able to just kill the enemy and not really have to do much. You know, you don't take too much damage, but you repel a lot of it back, which is pretty significant. So I'll leave you guys with this clip here against Revolutionary Army, and we'll pick things up once we get to the Whitebeard challenge. So now we can go ahead and move on to the Whitebeard challenge. So with this particular fight, we do need definitely some pieces of utility. This particular fight, we have Barkarad to remove attack down, so that's obviously going to be quite important because we get inflicted with attack down 2 times during this fight. We get inflicted with paralysis, you know, against Marco and Vista, of course. We get inflicted with chain lock, which is also kind of annoying, where Barkarad just removes all 3 of those debuffs. One of the best units to use for these 10-star difficulty GARP challenges is that Rare Recruit Barkarad, plus having such a powerful support with Tesora, which I did mention quite briefly earlier on in the video. It's so nice to have that, of course. And we've got Iron as well. Iron is very important because her special ability will remove the increased defense and the % damage reduction on the Josu stage, and of course with double special activation we can launch it to you know, get rid of all the turns that we could possibly need of it. And you know, when you do launch it for the first time, you do get a damage reduction effect. I think it's like a 70% damage reduction or 80% damage reduction, so you can actually use it which makes the buffs of Jozu go down to 2 turns, or to 1 turn, and then you can tank a hit with your damage reduction effect, and then kill it on the turn after. So that means you can carry, you know, you could use an Iron special a little earlier, or use one a little later. So it's kind of nice that you have a little bit of variety with Iron, or if you wanted to get health back, you could just launch both of the specials. You get health back, and you get damage reduction in the same turn. So a little bit of variety there with Barkrat, which is super, super nice. But of course, once we actually get to like the final boss stages and stuff, the super tight specials of Mihawk and also the specials of Law and Mihawk themselves will give us like all the possible damage that we would need for the boss fight, which is super, super nice. And again, Rayleigh's just kind of just chilling, just doing his own thing. He doesn't actually do much for us in this team at all. So yeah, Rayleigh is definitely a unit that could be replaced, you know, in hindsight with anything else, maybe another Orb Manipulator, or you wanted some other boost for other stages. But as you guys will see throughout this video, this team, even though you have like a unit that isn't doing too much for us, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. It's just super nice to have a character that is able to do that, which is awesome. But I'll leave you guys with this Whitebeard challenge clip. This is pretty self-explanatory from here on out, and I'll see you guys in the final clip of this video, which is against the Enel challenge. Okay, so jumping into the final clip of the video, which is against the Enel challenge. So first thing to talk about is once you enter the stage 2 fight after you get your cooldowns, is you're going to get binded. For 3 of your characters will get binded, so this is why we have the Corazon support once again, helping us remove some of that bind, which is kind of nasty to deal with. But this is another example of why Law is just the man. He is the man right here, because again, you can just reflect damage, and that's kind of just all you really need to do for a lot of these situations here. And of course, once your health does get a little bit lower than you would really like, you can just use the super tight special to heal some of that health back, which is great. Again, we'll be using a lot of the repel damage against the stage after this, where we get inflicted with burn, so we don't really want to be obviously taking too much damage, so we will have to hit a couple grades, of course, to break that barrier, and then the reflect damage is, again, a lot of the heavy lifting. Now, the really good reason as to why Law and Mihawk here are like phenomenal units for these GARP challenges is because you can use both of their specials on the second last stage of Enel and then carry them into the final boss room. So realistically speaking, you don't even need a special bind remover on this team, because you know, even though you get inflicted with special bind, you could just, you know, go ahead and use the specials, get your attack and orb boost stage 6, hit 3 perfects at least, kill that stage in 1 turn, and you'll carry the orb boost and the attack boost into the final boss room, which is so good. And also as well, you have Mihawk's super type special to give you a full board of matching slots, and you have the Megalo ship to lock those slots for multiple turns, of course, and Enel doesn't change your slots when you move into the final room, so it's quite perfect actually. These characters all work super well to enable you to get your boost for the final stage, and of course when you move into the final stage, Enel becomes a Psi enemy, so you have full type advantage, you have a 2.5 attack boost, a 2.5 orb boost, and a full board of matching slots. So it works perfectly. All you need to do is obviously get to that final stage, and of course Sangora is going to be very vital for this team as well, as you saw against this stage, being able to have the special reverse on his Sailor effect to give us those matching slots, give us color affinity, but also having the pudding support attached to him so that we can remove the stun debuff on the final stage. Very important that we have that, and that is the main reason why he is here. But he actually has a lot of different uses as well. He gives us special cooldown reduction, he gives us healing, and as I mentioned, he does give us the orb manipulation and color affinity boost. So even though Sanji's really, like, his main use on this team is the pudding support to remove the stun, he has a lot of other benefits outside of that, which is great. You know, just a character that can provide multiple roles to your team is super nice. So that's basically the end of the video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one, and now we've uploaded a video with every single color, with one team, no changes whatsoever, versus every single GARP challenge 10-star difficulty. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, and if you guys did, make sure to leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.